Hi everyone, welcome to Andiamo La Cucina. Today we're going to be doing a holiday cake. It is a gingerbread cake, which I left all the ingredients. If you press the down button in the description, it'll give you all the ingredients which you need. It is a very moist cake, yet firm, so it's a nice cake that's workable. And I didn't do the video part of me mixing the cake because it's so simple. It's all your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients, and you just mix it until it's all combined, and then you put it in the oven. So I wanted to do more of a video where you could see how I decorate the cakes. I get a lot of people to request, although I'm not the best. I think there's people out there a lot more, how do I say it, able to do different designs. I'm not into those cakes that use fondant and stuff like that. I haven't really done that. I do more of a simplicity type cake where the cake tastes good and everything in it tastes good. So we're gonna start with the base of the cake, okay? I already have my buttercream set. I have my ganache that I made it green in color, okay? And this cake is infused with the Fireball liquor, which is, I tell you, gives a whole nother dimension to the cake. It's really, really delicious. Okay, and we're just gonna alternate green, white, green, white, green, white. Once we get this all stacked together, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it back in the fridge to set, and then we'll give it its crumb coat, and then we'll design. So that's the first layer. And I used the layer that has the bottom is what I use for the bottom. Now you can see this part of the cake is all cake, okay? I'll place that on top. Make sure it's even all around. That's like really important because when you go to decorate, it can be a make or break. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing here. I'm starting with the white on the outside because when you go to frost a cake, you don't want it to show any really green. If you could avoid that, you could always cover it up. And I didn't use a nozzle on these because it doesn't really matter in this portion. So stay tuned for more videos. I'll be doing more holiday cookies, things of that nature. I almost wanted to put a layer of pecan caramel in the middle, but it is what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna go with my next layer here. Oops. And again, it's another piece of cake that's just the inside. I did do double batch because I want my cake, just so you know, this recipe, your cake won't be as high as this one unless you do a double batch, and that's what I did. I did a double batch because I like the cakes really high. I like a lot of layers in it. I just like that. To me, it's fun, enjoyable. So we're doing this part of the video first, and then we'll come back and finish off. And I'll add the second part of the video onto this first clip. I'm having a hard time with loading videos. But you can find the buttercream, Italian buttercream video on the page, Andiamo La Cucina. and the YouTube page Andiamo. I think it's Andiamo Cucina because I couldn't use that name. Someone else had it or something. Okay, we're going with the next layer. And I could really stop here with this one and make one other cake. So maybe I will stop here. Won't make it as big because I could put another layer. I'm trying to decide if I want to do that or not. I think this is tall enough. I think if I make it too tall, then, well, we still have to do one layer anyway because I have to put a cover. So one more layer. I chose the piece that was an interior piece. And the rest of it, I'll make a smaller cake. And I do have to fill up this bag. So bear with me a second while I get some more. Okay, and I have to get more of the white buttercream. A tip for you when you make Italian buttercream, because butter is yellow, and let's say you have a little bit of a yellow hue to your buttercream, you can put a little drop, just a small drop of violet food coloring. I use gel, and it'll take out that yellow hue and make the icing nice and white. So just a little tip there. Now, you could take half the ganache and make it half green, half red, and do one layer green and white, the other one red and white. You could be creative. I just chose to do it this way. Okay, so on with the top of the cake to finish it off. I do have some crumbs on here because so I'm just taking this off here. So this is nice and high, like I said. You want to take a look at the cake all around. Make sure it's nice and level. Okay. So we're going to do a little crumb comb. Just rinse my hands. I'm going to use what's in this bag. And if you have spots where it needs to be filled in a little bit more, you can. This is the ideal time to do it because of the fact that the cake is going to be sitting in the refrigerator and setting. And I didn't see this side. It needs to be moved over a little bit. Okay, I think I got it. So if you have a layer where it's like indented, just put a little extra buttercream there and you should be fine. I just wanted to use what was in there. I'm getting rid of the bag. And again, this is just your crumb coat, meaning it's just going to cover it so that it sets, and then we'll go ahead and put the thicker layer on. And Just a little back and forth motion. Now, if you buy one of these spatulas from Michael's, it does have two sides to it. One that gives, you see the teeth, give that little effect of an indent if you want that kind of look. Like I said, I'm just giving it a crumb coat right now. Just a thin layer is what I want to do, because I just want the cake to set. Once it's set, then I'll come back and put the other layer on. The good thing about this Italian buttercream is that it's not really sweet, and that's what I really enjoy about the cakes. So anybody that eats the cakes that I make, they enjoy them because they're not super sweet. There are people that make buttercream, which is nothing wrong with the American buttercream, but I tend to not like it. For me, it's like super sweet. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll come up with something where an American buttercream is not as sweet. So. And again, just a thin layer is what we want. Okay, I think that's pretty much a nice thin layer. I'm just trying to get closer to the bottom, but I'll get that once I come back. Just giving it a quick little turn, get some of that excess off. Okay, so there we have it. There's our crumb coat. I just want to get a little bit more here on the bottom. I'm happy with this right now. It's gonna go in the fridge. It's gonna sit probably a half hour. Then I'll come back and I'm gonna give it possibly another coat, unless I want that rustic look where it's like almost like a naked cake. But you could see here, okay? That's what you want to do. That's your crumb coat. So once we come back, we'll put on the other coat, we'll make some rosettes, and I'll show you basically what we're gonna do to this cake to decorate it and make it look festive for the holidays. This is actually a fall cake, Christmas cake. It's got ginger in it. It's got the tangerine, cloves, nutmeg, honey. Like I said, the ingredients are at the bottom of the description. It's really a delicious cake. I hope you try it. Please remember to share and like Andiamo alla Cucina page with your Facebook friends. And let's let this set, and then we'll come back and finish decorating. All right, guys, we're back. The second part of this has already chilled. I made some extra buttercreams. I did wind up making 2 cakes out of that batter. So I'm just gonna smooth off the top here. And this is nice and cold, so the buttercream is adhering to it nicely. I'm kind of thinking that I want to leave the sides of the cake the way it is, that rustic look. So I'm gonna see, but for right now, let's work on the top of this, because I don't think I'm gonna do anything to the sides of it, like add more. But if I decide as we're working here, then we'll just add. I'm just removing some of the excess cream up on top. Just trying to get it nice and smooth. Just cleaning off the edges, working from the outside in. Let's move this a little bit more. I do have a different spatula that I could use. I have a few different kinds. I have this one here, which is a metal one. I basically just want to come forward from the outside into the middle to clean off the edges. If you take off too much, it's okay. You can always add back on. Like in the middle here, I just noticed a little spot, so. You don't have to worry too much about the edges and stuff, because if you're gonna decorate the edges, it's gonna get covered up anyway. As you can see here, it's like basically like that rustic look. And this is still really cold from the fridge, so I really can't, I'd have to add more. But if you see here, you see how it looks? I like that look, that rustic look. So I sort of want to leave that look because it just reminds me of vintage and, I don't know, the holidays. I just think some of the stuff that's out there with crafts and things, I like that look. So I'm going to leave it like that. Let's work on the rest of the cake. And we'll get started here. So I did already pre-bag some of my coloring. I have green for the leaves. I did red. I'm not too happy about this red. It almost looks like it's sort of pinkish, like a darkish pink. And then just the vanilla. I'm using the 1M tip to make the rosettes. I want to make a couple rosettes, and then I want to make, well, let's start maybe with the outside. So let's do, I want to do leaves all around, almost like a wreath. And then I'll do a couple rosettes in the inside, and we'll take it from there. I just want to show you what this looks like. Here's the tip, if you could see it. And basically, you want to hold it where the leaf, the 2 open big sides are on the side there. And if you could look here, I'm just going to show you real quick how pretty the leaf comes out. Okay, so as I got that started, I'm going to go ahead and start making some leaves here. Just in different directions, overlapping. This is a cute border for the holiday, I think. The good thing is when the icing's really cold too, if you make a mistake, you can wipe it right off. When the cake, I should say, on the icing on the cake is nice and cold. I'm just going in different directions. You can make them as big if you press hard and keep it close. It'll give it more of a rigid look. Like that. I'll bring you in a little bit closer maybe. There we go. So watch how I hold this really tight and close. I'm just up and down with my hand. And look how pretty that leaf came out. So then you want to pop this in the refrigerator and it'll get nice and stiff until you're ready to serve it. And we'll put some here. You could do them like that, and then one coming in the other direction. Just gotta close it up here. What do you think of that so far? I think that looks pretty. Then we're gonna take the 1M here, and I wanna do my rosettes. So, right here. So for the rosette, you're gonna squeeze pretty far down. If you go watch here, I hope you could see. Also, I'll come on an angle. Get that one point, and then take it around. And as you go to close off, release. So not so much pressure. So down and around, and let go of the pressure as you go to close it. Okay. Just trying to tuck that in. And maybe okay. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think I want to make this one a little bit bigger. There we go. Now on this, we're going to put some leaves on them. You see I'm keeping that a little bit closer together. There's a lot of different things you could do to decorate. I have so many different ideas. I'd love to do them all on one cake sometimes. So I have to try to be careful because I try to not overdo it. I sort of like the simplicity on cakes. I don't like them really crazy looking. Okay, I think that's enough. Now we're going to take the red and we're just going to put a couple of dots, one in the middle of the green leaf. Oops. Just 3 little dots. You could do 1 as well if you wanted to. Okay, and then we could do like 1 here and there on the sides here. Just to make it look really festive. And there we go. There we got it. You could see there. Came out really pretty. You could put leaves on the sides of the cake if you wanted to. I really don't want to overdo this. Maybe in the other one I'll do it. I'll do some extra leaves on the side. Okay, and then maybe put some little holly berries. Or I did bring some of these things to show you. These happen sprinkles. And they have like little balls. This is a Christmas one, has little Christmas trees. I really don't want to put on this cake, so I'm not going to do it. Maybe any other one I'll just decorate a little bit differently. But I think this is nice. I think it looks simple and pretty. You can see the top of the cake. Just nice, simple, real cute. And there you got it. So I'm gonna let this set in the refrigerator. I'm gonna put it back in. I'll be right back. I'm gonna take the other cake out and see if we do a little bit more. Okay. This one here, we'll make this our test one. Play around with a little bit. Just gonna smooth off the top of this one again. I don't have the spinning thing because I left the other cake on it. I'm waiting for that to set and then I'll go ahead and I'll have that one empty. I'll move it to a platter. This one I made for the kids just to eat. I wasn't really planning on decorating it because they like to dig in and not have a lot of icing on it sometimes. And again, this is the icing that I did with the fireball, which I really, really like, love the flavor of it, and it really screams holiday to me. Oops. I'll clean up the sides of this platter afterwards. But I really want to take the time because the videos get long and just showing you. And see, this is right out of the refrigerator, so it's really cold. I really can't do anything different but add to it if I wanted to. Add more cream, but I'm not going to. So let's do, just gonna put a little bit more buttercream in here. You can see how nice and stable Italian buttercream is. I could hold it off on the paddle. Only thing is, if you have warm hands, it'll tend to get soft after a while if you're holding the bag too long. So you want to be mindful of those things. All right. On this one, we're going to do a couple of rosettes, and then we'll see what we do from there. Again, press down and around as you, oops. One thing I'm going to tell you, when you go to fill up a bag, always squeeze it a little bit in case there's any air pockets in there. So down and around, and less pressure when you go to take off. You want to end it. And I got some air in there, so that's that popping you hear. So see, I don't like the way that came out. So I'm just gonna scoop that off. That's a good thing when you're using the cake cold out of the fridge. You could do that really easily. Sort of want to let her close or overlap the rosettes so you don't see that end piece. Okay. Now, we could have what you could do as well is, instead of using green for the leaf, use red and make red leaves and then use yellow dots in the middle. But we're just gonna, oops, I got some icing on me. Put some leaves here. It's terrible when you don't have that little wheel that turns, that little lazy Susan. I left the cake on that one, so. And maybe a couple ones on the outside here. Okay. So, thinking we could try to use some of these sparkles here. Hold on. You could take a couple of these sprinkles. Just dry off my hands. And sort of sprinkle it on top. And I do have one of these bowls here. I mean, you could put it in there like that. And then you could just, this looks really festive too and pretty. And then some in the middle. Those bowls, I'm gonna put them in some of the rosettes. You could put sprinkles all around. You could take that same 1M and you could do a border. This is not the plate to do it on, but I just want to show you what it would look like. You see there? So you could do that once you put it on the carrying tray that you want to use. I'm going to take this off though because I'm not using this plate here. I'm going to transfer this. So there you have it. I will post pictures once I'm totally done and this set's a little bit longer, and I'll show you what the inside of the cake looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed this time with me. I hope you invite all your friends to the Facebook page, Andiamo alla Cucina. Like I said, this is just simplicity. I'm not looking to, my cakes are basically very simple, but elegant, I think, in my opinion. I hope you enjoy the recipes. I'm not one of those fondant, I wish I could do some of those fondant things, but I just don't think I would have the joy in doing it like I do these. So, yeah, so look forward to seeing more stuff and share the page. Like I said, thank you again for joining. I'm sorry this is a short video, but like I said, this cake, when you do go to make it, just some tips, follow the instructions to the T. It's very simple. Put all your dry ingredients together, all your wet ingredients together. As far as when you put the eggs into the wet ingredients, give it a little, beat them up a little bit with the liquids, and then pour it into the dry ingredients. I use the KitchenAid stand mixer, so I love that and makes life a whole lot easier for me. The buttercream, Italian buttercream, you can find that on the page as well, on the YouTube page, and how to make Italian buttercream. And more things to come with some more festive cookies. I will post some more things shortly. Thank you for joining. Take care.